I'm not moving the cat. How are you? How's it going? I don't want to put your voice or your face on there because I want to keep your anonymity. Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our affairs. Okay, so first column who, second column what. There's a couple things that I've learned in life, recovery, and also just from being 52. Can I just say 50? Do I have to say 52? I'll be 50 till I'm 60. When you're going through your list, you're looking at the things that you have resentment towards, that you're angry about. Have you ever heard spot it because you got it? That's a very true thing. The things that irritate us the most about other people reflects something in ourselves that we don't care for. I think that as we go through our 4-step and we're seeing the things that have angered us attached to other people, we start to see where in ourselves we exhibit that. And that's why it drives us nuts when somebody else does. That's what I mean when I say that you're really looking for your patterns. Because the first time you got abandoned, it created a mental and emotional scar. And then every single time the rest of your life, something happened that brought that feeling up, it just piled on. They are separate instances, a whole individual different thing, right? Can't blame the next guy for what the last guy did. But psychologically and emotionally, just again. There's a couple different theories with that. You can go the religious way that God will continue to put you in the same situations until you learn the lesson you're supposed to. Psychologically, like women that see their mothers get abused end up in abusive relationships because that's what we learn. And even though we can intellectually say that's not right, that's what we know. And that's what we do. Kids that got hit as kids, even though as kids, they are like, this is wrong and I will never treat my kids like this. And then they end up doing the exact same thing. I don't pretend to know all the answers. You sat there as a kid going, oh, I'm never going to drink. And then what do you do? It's good to start with your parents because that's where your trauma starts. Let me ask you this. As an alcoholic, did you choose alcohol over your child or did you feel like you didn't have a choice? Maybe he felt like it was better to not do it around you. But I'm here and that, again, I'm outside of it. I don't know this man. You have an expectation of what he should have been as a father. And he did not meet that expectation. I ask these questions because I went through these same kind of things. Did you ever have feelings that if they hadn't split up, your mom wouldn't have been in those positions? And really think about this. Put yourself back there. As a young girl, did you have any blame towards your father for what your mother was going through? He didn't choose her and bad things happened to her. He didn't choose you. He's off living his life with another lady and another kid while you and your mom are over here struggling and getting abused. Did you ever connect him to that like that? You didn't blame him for the divorce. Okay. Why did she leave him? So he chose alcohol over your mom, so your mom left him. And then later he chose alcohol over you, and you were never his first priority. And you felt that was wrong for a father to have anything as a priority over his daughter. Take your dad out of the equation. Is that a value that you hold in general? Do you believe that parents should choose their children over their spouses? Is that a general value that you hold, or is that connected specifically to you and your dad? If there's sides to take, you think that the parent should take the side of the kid. You feel like your dad doesn't stand up to his wife like he should. Is this something that's reflected in other aspects? Does she kind of have her way? Does she just say shit and he just doesn't? What's their dynamic like when it's not involving you? So this isn't a personal thing with you. This is a dynamic between the two of them. I have lived enough to have had a lot of different experiences and a lot of different relationships. I have found in life that I cannot hold other people to my personal standards. Boundaries are ultimatums that we set for ourselves. Standards are what we will or will not allow into our lives. So what I consider a standard, what I consider the way to be, I recognize that that's my standard. Those are my boundaries. And other people who have different life experiences, who were raised different, whatever it is, they don't necessarily see things the way that I see them. What they will tolerate is different than what I will tolerate. Not necessarily better or worse, but different. Your dad not choosing you. What are the things that you're marking that affects? You've got self-esteem, money, ambition, fear. What about relationships? When you are in a friendship or a romantic relationship or even a business relationship, how do you feel when you are not chosen? And how do you respond? What does that look like? You pout a little bit. In a relationship, if you have a boyfriend and he chooses his friends or his family or whatever, how do you respond to that? How does that make you feel? You internalize it. We think, what is it about me that they didn't choose me? It doesn't mean you're not great. I think that that's something that's important to keep in mind with dealing with anybody ever, anytime. If I'm standing next to Miss Utah and she's smoking gorgeous, doesn't make me any less cute. She can be as beautiful as the day is long. Doesn't change how cute I am. This is it. This is cute as I get. I feel like you will get to that place by going through this process where instead of saying to yourself, what's wrong with me that he made that choice? Be able to say what were his options and what was subjective and what was objective. And what is it about him that made him make that choice? Not what is it about me that he didn't choose me. We all want that. Listen, I would love to be everybody's favorite person. I would love everybody that meets me to think I'm just the greatest thing ever. That would be really cool. Not going to happen. There are people in this world that will tell you I'm the greatest thing walking, that I have helped them in some way, that I'm smart, cute, funny, all those things. And I am. There are other people that will tell you I'm a raging heartbeat bitch. And guess what? They're both right. Not everybody's going to dig me. I'm not always going to get the promotion. Believe it or not, there are guys in this world that I had crushes on that did not crush me back. I wasn't their type. Who knows why they didn't pick me? There's guys in the world that I'm sure would have liked me to pick them. And I didn't. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with them. It didn't mean there was something wrong with me. I didn't learn that lesson until later. I wish I had known it when I was 10. I had a lot of abandonment issues and why don't the people in my life pick me? Why did my father take off? Why does he have this whole other fucking family? Which he then abandoned them as well. So again, it wasn't them, it was him. Your father didn't not choose you because of you. We do what we do because of who we are, not because of who somebody else is. It's easier for me to wrap my mind around things and to be forgiving when I could take it off of me and say, that's not about me. I wish that I was important enough for it to be about me. But the truth is, I'm just not to most people. Now, just like we did with your dad, take the what, and now is the time where you start to analyze it. Why did that bother me? What in myself do I see that makes that bother me? And how does that affect me? And how do I respond when it affects me? It's what I want you to be doing going through the next column. And then we'll get to the magic column later. It's going to be excruciatingly painful and you're going to hate it. But you're going to feel all these little switches click and you're going to go, oh, and it's going to be great. And at the end of it, you're going to be so glad that you did it. But it's going to probably suck a little bit while you're doing it. It's going to hurt for a second, but then you're going to get a lollipop. Anyway, I love you. And like I always say, love everybody. Let God sort them out. Go have a great day.